Hello, today I'd like to show you how to make this card, and it uses the Hey Chick set from Stampin' Up, and it says you make me happier. You open it up and it says than a fox in a hen house. So let's get started. Here's all the pieces that you'll need. I've already stamped the 3 different chicks in black ink and colored them in with markers. And you'll notice I cut the feet off. That's for a reason. And I'll have all the sizes for these pieces. I have a piece of smoky slate that I stamped hardwood on, and I have a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of real red, a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white that I ran through the Big Shot with a Cuttlebug wire embossing folder. Now that's the chicken wire one, which kind of goes with this card. So that'll be mounted right on the top of that real red. I have a piece of, okay, here's the stamp set. Sorry, forgot about that. And we're going to also put the Foxy Friends. We're going to use this image and put that on the inside. And I'm also using a set called Happier Than. It's got a lot of neat sayings in it. Happier Than, and when I saw this fox in a hen house, I knew I had to have this set just for the Hey Chick card. There's a lot of neat sayings on there. Also going to use hardwood. This is the Stampin' Up background set. I'm going to stamp that in smoky slate on a piece of smoky slate cardstock, and so that's what I did here. And then I trimmed off a piece. I trimmed off one line, so stamp the whole thing and then trim off one, and I'll give you the dimensions at the end of this. Then there's a piece of So Saffron that I took the scissors and I just made some hay or straw by trimming, as you can see, with the scissors just snipping very close together along one edge all the way. I also have a piece of craft foam that I've put sticky tape on both sides to pop that up a little bit so that it looks like the chickens are sitting in their straw. Now, when you cut these out, fussy cut, I'm going to put this on a gray background. I don't like the white to show, and since I don't like to really fussy cut around all those little pieces, I take the smoky slate marker and I just go around on that white and I just color in the very edges so that they don't show up like halos around the chickens. And I did that with all 3 of them. You can color these in any way you want, cut them out. Okay, here's all the pieces. So there's your background and the 3 chicks, the straw, and the box that we're going to put them in. So I'm going to put this on a piece of yellow so I can show you how to put it together. I'm going to take the VersaFine Black Onyx stamp pad and I'm going to stamp the happier word on the box that I'm going to put the chickens in. And then I'm going to take the You Make Me, and I'm going to stamp that also in the black onyx across the very top edge of the larger piece. Then I'm going to take the straw that I'm going to put behind the happier piece, and I'm just trimming off the corners at the bottom edge where it's all together. Oops, just so that it doesn't stick out underneath it. And then I'm going to glue that behind the word happier. I'm going to use some Tombow Mono glue here. Just put a thin strip across the bottom of the straw where they're all stuck together. Put the happier word on. And this will make a little box for your chickens to sit in, so that now you're going to take it and you're going to fluff down all those little pieces of straw I'm going to put the craft foam on the back. Now, I could have put this on last, and I probably should have. I think when I first made this card, I put the chicks on first, and so I had some double stick tape on there. This just holds it up all the way across the back, but they do slide in since I made it this way. That's going to go on the front, but I have to put the chicks on. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of each of the 3 chicks, and they're going to set inside that box. And since I peeled that tape off, I'm going to put the tape back on so I can hold on to it without it sticking all over my hands. Fluff the straw down that you just cut and fluff it all out all over the place. And we're going to take a little bit of glue again. I tried to line them up so that they were all facing each other, except for this goofy looking one that has the funny hair, which I just love that chick. So you can see I'm going to slide him behind the straw, but kind of in front of that craft foam that I put back there so that he's actually going to be popped up from the card. Now all 3 of them are in the little box. I can pull that tape back off the back and mount that right in the center near the bottom of the other piece of smoky slate that's been stamped with the hardwood. Now that's going to go right on the front, and that's basically the front of the card. Now to do the inside, I actually use the Misty because I'm going to put the fox in there. And you'll notice my line at 4 1/4, so I know right where I had to put my stamp. So I've already lined them all up. So I'm going to put the card base into the Misty. Put the magnets down. I'm going to move them down a little bit lower. I'm using Cajun Craze for the fox. Now, I have both stamps on the Misty, but it's okay. I'm going to ink the fox, and because the black is so much darker than the Cajun Craze, it doesn't really matter if I get a little Cajun Craze on the verse, because the black will just cover it right up. And I had to do this a few times because on these solid stamps, they take a while to get the ink on there. So to get your fox nice and dark, stamping him a few times. I eventually got him, but I didn't want to show you how I have to keep doing that. So I took the VersaFine, which I really like this VersaFine because it's very dark and very black. And even if you're doing it on watercolor paper, it comes out great. So I'm just going to ink the verse, then a fox in a hen house, and stick that on there. Now the very last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to put his legs on. Now the legs, I'm going to do in black. I'm going to make sure that I ink them up right. I'm also using the VersaFine for that. So stamp them right on the front of the fox. And then his nose and eyes, on this particular stamp, you'll notice that they're all connected, so you want to be very careful when you stamp that because I stamped it great on the paper, and then I put it on his face, and I got black ink, which is exactly what I was going to try to tell you not to do. But anyway, there's the inside of the card. Then you're just going to fold that in half, and of course you're going to just put your card all together like normal. Just center everything or however you want to put it on. Okay? Thanks for watching.